everyone, it's Kat and I'm back today to put some makeup on my face. I am going to be using my Project Pan product. So after this, hopefully if I have time, I will film Get Ready With Me. No, that's not it. That's what I'm doing now. I'll be filming my Project Pan update for whatever month this is, July, I think it might be. But I thought I will demonstrate how I'm using the products, which ones I like, what I'm struggling with, all that kind of jazz. I have added in a couple of things because I've used up items, so there'll be some new things that you'll see thrown on my face. But this is just a typical, not a typical day of me wearing makeup. Oh no, because I don't usually wear much makeup. But if I do have 20 minutes to get ready, then this is sort of the makeup I use and how I use it. So I'm going to start with the Bobbi Brown. This is the Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Now, I really like this. Even when my skin was oilier, I liked this. That's not it. That is the lid. I sort of bought this and then put it at the back of my drawer to be like, when I'm feeling dry and I want to be like fancy, I'm going to use it as a primer then. And then that day never came. Or rarely happens. But I figured it's getting old. If I want it again, I will buy it. I have sort of dryish skin at the moment because of winter. And so I just think this is the time to enrich my base with some Bobbi Brown. So it's going in my Project Pan, even though it is a little bit sad to pan it because it is quite expensive. But it does feel, it's like a very luxurious, nice moisturizer, I have to say. It's got an almost like orange, really minor orangey, I want to say orange peel kind of scent to it. I like it. It's nice. It gives a bit of dewiness to my base, which I need because I'm going to be using the Kat Von D True Portrait Liquid to Powder. Oh my God, brain! Liquid to Powder foundation in Light 018. I'm mainly using this up. It's starting to separate a little bit, so it needs to be really shaken up. It doesn't smell like it's going bad. It is a little bit old, and the color only really suits me in like the dead of winter, which is where we're at the moment. So that's why it is happening. Another thing we're doing today is we're using my Funky Monkey, whatever sponges and brushes I have in my makeup bag. I'm not getting clean ones out. I'm not cleaning them for you. This is slightly damp, but we're being real here. We're showing you the grossness. I might actually go in with my concealer first. This is my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in Custard. This one, that's what I'm up to, is too warm for me, and also it might be nice on this base, but at the moment in winter, it is too dry for me. So I have sometimes put it over a really, really sort of like moisturized base, just to sort of not have it look sort of patchy and flaky. But yeah, it's not working for me at the moment. This is more of a summer concealer for me, and there is parts of me going, why not just save it and use it up in summer? But then there's parts of me that are like, no, I want to get rid of it. Now that I've decided I want to get rid of it and I've hit pan on it, don't stop me now. Don't stop me now. But I sort of have to put this under my foundation because the color is a little bit yellow for me, as you can probably see. I can probably color correct it with my blue foundation mixer, but on a daily basis, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it under this one. So let's get a squeeze. It's going to do that thing where it's like a chunk comes out and then it just squeezes out. So I end up over squeezing, over dispensing. That's the word we got there. I am like, I don't know what's going on. I've been a bit sick. I've just had a cold, nothing major. My baby has just started getting sick as well, which is, oh, coughing break, which is not ideal because it means our already disrupted sleep is even more disrupted. It means my baby, who is generally super chill, I have to say, my second baby, like, and it's just personality. It had nothing to do with how I've raised him. He's the sweetest, most chill, most smiley, just joy of a baby. Chalk and cheese to my first. My first was disgruntled, really quick to like lose the plot. He'd be like 1 minute okay, next minute just like screaming the house down. He was really hard. Like, I think back on the baby time with him, and I was like, I just think of feeling like stressed, whereas my second baby, oh my god, he is a dream, but poor thing gets a bit grizzly and a bit clingy when he's sick. So what am I talking about? I don't know. Hourglass, I've got 2 of these ambient lighting powders in dim light. I don't like them. I hold on to these minis because I'm like, maybe one day I will love them. I am only using this up because I have used up the majority of the powders that I can. What is that dot of black on my brush? I don't even care. So I am doing so well with my powders. I have got to a point, this is making things look a little bit like peachy. I've got to a point with my powders that I've got one handbag powder that's a pressed powder that's like got more coverage, so it's like for touching up or blotting or whatever. I've got one sort of loose Laura Mercier powder that I opened only last week. This is one of those white invisible ones, really, really setting. Good for the under eyes because I get like migrating happening into fine lines these days. And then I've got some powders that I really like and I'm trying to like only wear when I'm trying to look fancy. And then the rest of it, I don't have anything else. I think I've got another Laura Mercier powder in a box. So I've got powders, like I can use powders probably for the next 6 months, easy. But I don't have any that I want to use up, which is blowing my mind. So I'm starting to like pull out the little samples and be like, you're going. I quite like the effect of these ambient lighting powders. They give a bit of a glow to the face. I'll turn this down so you can see all warts and all. Look, it's really made my base look a little bit peachy because it was matching my neck before and it's not now. But I find that these aren't great for setting bases. They're not good if you've got oily skin and you need to like set your foundation. And I feel like I need to use a lot of it to set my base. So these aren't designed for me. These are like the second powder. So if I was putting something like this on to set my base and then I wanted a bit of a glow, this is the kind of thing I'd go for, but I don't think it gives that much of a glow and it does change the color of my base. So these I've never really liked. So I've got 2 of them. I'm probably going to pan them both consecutively, and knowing how much powder I use, hopefully this will be done by next check-in and then I can just, you know, empty out my drawers. All right. I've also added in a bronzer. Now I don't bronze on a daily basis, but I pulled this out when I was doing my Marc Jacobs sort of get ready with me using old Marc Jacobs products. And I realized, look, this is an old bronzer. It's massive, so I've got to use it up. And when I want to bronze, this is what I'm going to use. Do I bronze often? Absolutely not. Firstly, in winter, it can look a little bit muddy and dirty on me. This shade's not too bad, actually. I think it's like the right sort of neutral tone. Oh my God, this weather. Sun and then clouds and then sun and then whatever. So I think I can wear this bronzer. I was trying to use, what is it, the Chocolate Soleil by Too Faced, and that was looking really dirty and muddy on me. So bronzer for me is just a step that I've been skipping lately, but when I'm not skipping it, this is what I'm going to be using. So there we go. Fine, good, like it, don't hate it. I feel like I should be going somewhere after this. It's like, get ready with me to do what? Film a video, do some laundry, do the dishes, draw, colour in with my kids because he likes watching me colour in but he doesn't like actually colouring in himself, and start dinner and stuff. Like it's why am I even bothering? I think because I'm still sick, I'm just like, why even bother with makeup at all? And that's what I've been doing the last few days. Like I have not been wearing makeup, but this is a fun way to demonstrate it, and I like these products. I actually do quite like them. All right, Life's a Peach blush. That's it. It's peachy. Let's give me some life back in my face because I feel like I don't have it. Same brush because that's how I roll. It is a lovely peachy blush. There's a bit of a glow in it, nothing crazy. But I really like the tone of it. I feel like it suits me. I've been talking a little bit on TikTok about color analysis. I find color analysis really interesting, and my vibe is that I like, not that I'm wearing it today, but I really like vibrant, intense colors. But I feel like the consensus seems to be that I suit cooler tones more than warmer tones, yet for some reason I like warmer toned base products. I don't understand. I'm confused. I want to get a color analysis consult done, but they cost like 350 bucks. And the waiting list is until like October or something. So maybe a Christmas thing. I don't know. I want to do it though. I really want to do it. Ooh, I don't use this every day, but I like it. I like it. I wish they had one of these Colourpop Super Shock Cheeks in the sort of Stereo Rose sort of peachy pink color, because this would make an epic highlighty-ish blush. That's what I'm saying. I've used this as eyeshadow. It's really pretty, but it is such, like, whenever I wear this, people are like, your makeup is really pretty. And I'm like, yeah, it's Colourpop. So I didn't say the shade. Out of Quartz is the shade, but look at that. It's gorgeous. Just rub it in. Pretend you've had a lot of sleep. Pretend your skincare routine is working for you. I've just sort of been changing up my skincare routine while I've been using up some products, and I'm hoping it's going to change my life. But I also don't think it will, but I'm hoping. What I love about this color, it's not going to be for people with really fair skin, but it's got that sort of like rosy sort of base to it, and it sort of adds a bit of warmth to the skin. So you do sort of have to put it over a colored product if you are fairer. Otherwise it will create like a shadowy sort of color on your skin. But I think it's gorgeous. It's so pretty. You're so pretty, so enjoyable to use. At that stage, I'm going to use my MAC Fix Plus in a Shiramira bottle because it's a better bottle. It's got a better mister. It's a nice fine mister. I don't use this very often at all. But when I do, I use a lot of it. All right, zoomed in, nice and close. I'm going to use my Urban Decay Primer Potion. I've de-potted it into this little jar, and I prefer it in this jar. Not only is it easier to access, but it's drying out slightly and it's making it a little bit thicker. And I just feel like it's better to grip onto makeup. I feel like I don't know, there's just a little bit more tackiness, a little bit more substance to it. I felt like it was too sort of wet and slippery before. I prefer it. So if you do have Urban Decay Primer Potion and you're not loving it, de-pot it into a little thing and maybe you'll love it more. All right, I've got a MAC product that I introduced last month, and this is the Extra Dimension Skinfinish in Superb. It is a very strange rosy bronzer highlighter shade. I thought it might be really good as a bronzer, blush, highlighter all in one. Now, it works, but it's a little bit cool tone for me. As I was saying, I like something a little bit warmer. This makes me look a little bit dirty, and the highlighter's a little bit frosty for me. So the tones aren't quite there, but the concept is there. I think if this was a little bit more rosier and the shimmer was like, the reflect was a little bit less silvery. I don't even know if it's silvery, but it's very light. I would love this as a cheap product. Now this is actually fallen out, so I've got to be very delicate with it. There we go. And I can't repress it because it's one of those baked gelée products on the sort of, as you saw, the base. And once it's off, it's off. You can repress it, but it'll keep lifting and then it's just going to get drier and drier. I do use this, but I use it as an eyeshadow. Now this is a ridiculously big eyeshadow, but it's ridiculously beautiful. So I might just keep this not in my, because it's delicate and it's starting to fall out. I don't want it in a makeup bag that I sort of like throw around. But oh God, it's such a nice eyeshadow. I will show you. I've just been using this as a one and done product. See what I mean? Like it's a little bit silvery. I think that works better on my eyes than it does on my face. Everything about this, one and done, blend it out, off you go. I will put a matte in the crease just because I want to use the palette that I'm trying to pan. I don't know what to do with it. It's breaking up and it's so big, and I know that by the time, look, I've panned a MAC eyeshadow before, and I think it's taken me like a year, like a proper, just a normal single eyeshadow. This is going to take me like 10 years. Do I want to keep it because it's beautiful? Yes. Do I want it broken and crumbly and being difficult? No. So I don't know what to do with it, but for now, I'm loving it. It's such a good eyeshadow. It's just very, very big. So that's eyeshadow just on its own. I feel like it gives dimension to the crease. It gives light to the lid. It does everything you want eyeshadow to do just to enhance your eyes. And it's all in one product. So I really like this. If you've got it and you don't use it on your face, use it on your eyes. Hopefully you'll like it as much as I do. I am going to go in with some form of matte just because I feel like I need to use this. Probably the second one. I think I'm trying to make a bit of a dent in that one. On a daily basis, I sometimes do this again just to use up some of the palette. But sometimes I don't even use the primer with it. So I'm not making heaps of progress with the primer because on quick makeup days, I just use that powder on its own, that extra dimension Skinfinish. Yeah, I often just use that by itself. It grips really nicely. It doesn't tend to crease on me. And if it does, I don't notice it. So I just think it's I really like it. And that's what I like about Project Panning. That highlighter product has been sitting in my drawer for years. But now that I actually am like forced myself to use it, I found that it's such a beautiful eyeshadow for me. Like just a daily, my eyelids but better kind of situation. This is a Colourpop eyeliner that I put in June as well. And I'm just doing my waterline. I don't like that. A lot of people like that fleshy strip. I do not. And just a little bit of a flick, nothing crazy. Sometimes I will take a more sort of flat brush and I would take one of the darker shades. I actually quite like the darkest shade. I feel like the tone of that is quite pretty. It's a cooler sort of brown, but I sometimes just use that to blend in the outer corner liner just to sort of smoke it up slightly. There, that looks pretty. Again, not something I do daily basis, but again, definitely not something I do every day. All right, I've used up my mascara from my project pan and I've got two that I've just sort of fairly recently opened. This one's by Maybelline. It is the Falsies Lash Lift Ultra Black. I think I like the original black one more than this, but this is nice. I've also got a Charlotte Tilbury one open, but that one is so natural looking that it works for like literally when you've got no eye makeup on and you just want to enhance your lashes very, very slightly. If you've got any makeup on whatsoever, oh my god, it just flicked on my face. It just doesn't really work. It's also a nice lower lash mascara, but I'm sort of using them both and not really in a rush to use either one up because again, they're the only ones I have open, so it's like there's no real rush. I've got it here. Let's put on the lower lash line, shall we? The full fat lashes, that's a joke. That's a joke. It's not full fat lashes whatsoever. It's a very subtle. The empty skinny lashes. But yeah, nice for lower lash line. Nice for super, 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 super natural looking makeup. But not great for building volume. Separating this one, it's nice. Sort of the layering them is quite nice. All right, brow pomade. This brow pomade has been sticking around for like nearly a year. But to be fair, I've used a good chunk of it. I did recently rehydrate it, so it's a little bit wet and sticky, not stickier, but more paint-like than it usually is. This is a fairly dry pomade. Which I quite like. It's like a grippy brow powder, so you're not worried about it sort of dusting off throughout the day, but it's not so wet that you're going to get the really bold sort of Sharpie brows. This one, again, I've rehydrated it, so it's a little bit more paint-like than what I'm used to, so I'm just trying to take it very slow with this. But yeah, I like this product. On days where I'm in a rush, sometimes I use a pencil, so it's not my everyday brow product. Like it's an everyday brow product, but I don't use it every day of the week. But I really like the color of this. Mine's 3.5 and I feel like it suits me really well. Nice cool tone brows. Done. I like this. See, this is See, this is the kind of makeup that if we're going to see friends or going out for something on the weekend or going to a birthday, this is the kind of makeup I do. It's not too hard. It's like literally 1 or 2, 3 eyeshadows. Beautiful skin, beautiful. When it comes to lip, okay, if I'm going and I'm doing something fancy pants, I will rock my Lady Danger. Today is not that day. I'm already wearing far too much makeup for my date with the laundry. So I'm going to put on my Velvetti. Love it. What a good nude for me. Just, it's creamy, settles down, lasts a long time, fades off really nicely, beautiful tone. I'm digging pretty much everything about this face. That's what I love about when you get a Project Pan combination that works and you enjoy it, you can actually use it every day. Like when you see effects where you're like, oh, I looked like crap before and now I feel like this looks pretty good. You can reach for it every day and use up that highlighter, or reach for it every day and use up that lipstick. Like you can actually, it takes time, but you can do it. So that's the after. It's not too much. I look like I've got my shit together. I don't. But I look like I kind of do. So yeah, that's how I use my Project Pan products. I'm really enjoying most of it. There are times where I struggle with the base a little bit. So like the matte concealer, the foundation, sometimes it can look a little bit dry on me and it can sort of flake off throughout the day. But I think the Bobbi Brown primer, it might help that a little bit because it seems to be sitting a lot nicer than it has on other days. Brows are good color. Eyeshadow, I love this. I love this. I love this. It's working so well. I just don't like that it's broken. If it was not broken, I would be much happier. What I might actually do is glue this down with eyelash glue. I've done that before. It does work. It's best to have an eyelash glue that you can squeeze out rather than the one where you've got a little brush. I'll see what I've got in my drawer, but that's what I might do because I'm a little bit, I want to use this until it's used up. I actually want to spend 5 years panning this because I love it as an eyeshadow, but I don't want it to start crumbling and breaking and then becoming hard to use and frustrating me. So I might glue this down so that isn't a problem. Anyway, so that's how I do my makeup when I do my makeup. And this is how I use my Project Pan products. And it hopefully encourages you to maybe introduce a product that you're like, I don't know if I need this or if I like this, and then play and explore it and see if it works in a different way. And if it does, enjoy it. Like if it doesn't, get rid of it. Like there's no reason to, unless you love hate panning things, which no judgment, you do you, but I like a good result. I like a good result. What I've started doing at the end of these videos, this is exciting. I am going to thank my members. I have just opened my members and as I'm filming this, I've got 5. There might be 5 on the screen. There might be 6. There may be 4. Who knows? But thank you, members. You know who you are. Now other people know who you are. And I, of course, know who you are and I really appreciate your support. You help me make these videos and I love you. Mwah. So I will see you all in the next one and chat to me in the comments because I'm sad and lonely. Let's do it.